Welcome to Cricket Matters, a weekly podcast for cricketers who want to train smarter and perform better. I am your host, Josh Kennedy, and with me is my regular co-host, James Breeze. I just want to say, first of all, thank you for tuning into this brand new podcast. James, are you excited?
I am actually super excited. This is an offshoot from our sister podcast from Strength Matters, and it's something that's been threatened to happen for quite some time. So I'm excited to get going and share what we know, hopefully with the cricketing world.
It is indeed an offshoot from our wonderful Strength Matters podcast, our sister podcast, sister company, shall we say, as well?
Indeed.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, James, do you want to quickly give a brief bit of background about yourself, and then I'll give a very brief bit of background about me, and then we can dive into what this podcast is all about.
Yeah, sure, no worries. So first and foremost, I'm an avid cricket badger. I love playing cricket. It happened since I was a kid. And kind of like life got in the way midway through my life. I'm 40 now, 10 years of my life I lost not playing cricket because work got in the way, and I'm back playing cricket with a passion. I'm a player at Cardiff Cricket Club. I'm actually a coach now, believe it or not, too. I did my ECB qualifications. And I'm avidly trying my best to get into the Wales over 40s team to tour Pakistan next year in the World Cup. So there's lots of crazy things happening for me on a personal level with cricket. I love it, love watching it, love playing it. Big part of my life. And which is kind of tied in now nicely with the fitness component, which is also a big part of my life. And since back playing cricket, this is where the whole Cricket Matters idea has come up. Since coming back playing for Cardiff, I'm seeing there's just a big gap in information for cricketers to help them train smarter and perform better for longer. And hopefully we're going to try and close that gap and share the stuff that we know with the world and with you guys at Cricket Matters here to help you do that.
Indeed. I think the running joke for this podcast is also going to be that I have not got a background in cricket. The extent of my cricket is generally watching the Ashes series, which I really enjoy, actually. It is usually very good. Vividly remember Flintoff. What year was that? I want to say 2005. I knew it was quite a while ago. Anyway, I enjoy watching the Ashes, but my background is originally football when I was really little, then mainly martial arts for about 15, 20 years. I've been in the health and fitness industry for 12 years now off the back of doing martial arts. I used to be an actor, and I am the head coach for head trainer for Strength Matters, our sister company, and during that time we've had more and more cricketers come on board, so we've been training more and more cricketers and realising how our system of training can help cricketers, and that's how this whole, with James's background, Cricket Matters podcast has started. So we can absolutely take the mick out of the fact that I have basically no cricketing background whatsoever, but what we like to say, and I know you'd agree with me on this, is like no matter what your sport, everyone likes to think their sport is different. It isn't different. There are minute details, obviously like batting skills and bowling and fielding skills which come into play. But ultimately, every sport needs the same things to a greater or a lesser extent. Would you agree, James?
Yeah, in terms of the basics, absolutely. I think that you can specialise once you get very, very good. And this is what we're trying to get across to people. I think there's a lot of fantastic strength and conditioning experts at the highest levels of cricket doing some wonderful stuff. But the problem is that they're so busy working with these guys, it's hard to share the information across to the general public and other cricketers, and also aspiring cricketers as well, who are trying to come up through the ranks and get fitter so they can perform better. So we're trying to hopefully fill that void and share some of the stuff that we've worked with and over the past, well over 10 years, 15 years almost in some respects. I'd say my background in fitness, I fell into it. That was at the elite military and law enforcement type work. That's my speciality. But there's such a carryover to military and law enforcement guys into cricketers because of the stress they put their body under. And that's why I saw it. So when coming back into cricket and seeing that pattern, it's like, wow, it's a similar sort of thing they got to think about and train towards. Because cricket's a very unique sport. It's not your normal playing 90 minutes, 80 minutes in rugby and football. It is an all-day event, and if you get to professional level, it's multiple days. And sometimes, and even with cricket, you're playing multiple days a week. Particularly here in the UK, where like you can get a game of cricket every time. In the summer, like as you can testify, I'm playing 3-4 times a week.
Yeah, you never hear at the company. You're always out playing.
Exactly. So it's sharing that with a fitness head on now and seeing the future generation. Because again, if I'm being selfish, all my training at the moment is geared towards so I can extend my playing career at Cardiff Cricket Club and keep up with the young guns as much as I possibly can, and try and, keep in that first team, get out of, kick the other young guys out the first team so I can get back in there at the age of 40 and prove a point. That there's a way to increase your longevity as a career. So again, it's not just for the elite athletes out there, it's just for a lot of people who listen to the podcast. A shout out to the Wales over 50s team who I worked with this weekend as well, and seeing them, because there's a huge element of club cricket and competitive cricket internationally as well now at the 40s, 50s and 60s and even 70s age groups. So if I can just help these guys play longer, have more social enjoyment out of it, then that's the whole purpose of this. And hopefully as well inspire some younger cricketers to learn something from this. So it'll hopefully set them on the pathway to becoming a professional cricketer too.
Yeah, well, absolutely. As we said in the introduction, train smarter and performing better is what we're all about. And we do feel like there is a little bit of a lack of information about how to go about that. And, the system of the way we do things, we're all about health, longevity and training for the long term, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly. And it doesn't mean we don't discard performance, but that's why I think cricketers come into this as well. You've got to think about it long term, because it's such a brutal sport on your body. I'll just use fast bowlers as an example. The forces they put their body through in to deliver the ball at those paces is huge. So you've got to protect it and give it the best chance you possibly can. So longevity does come into the equation, because you've got to support yourself. And particularly now with pre-season coming up now, I already know first game of the season coming up in March, April, May time here in the UK, and there'll be people who won't be able to walk for weeks afterwards because it's the way it is. So hopefully you can share some tips to avoid that pre-season what's the word? Not blues, but the aches and pains that go with it in trying to do it. So
exactly,
that's it.
Try and mitigate that as much as we can.
Exactly. So, again, the podcast is just part of the stuff we're going to try and share with you. Obviously, we're going to try and share a lot of YouTube videos, specific tips to help you perform better, train smarter. There's going to be lots of blog posts as well. So it's a full multimedia effect to help you guys understand our system of training, so you can go and apply it in the gym, apply it before matches, during matches, etc., etc. And that's the goal here for us. And hopefully you'll enjoy it and you'll learn something from it.
Absolutely. And we also have the High Performance Handbook for Cricketers. So hopefully people listening to this want to know more about us and what we do, where can they find out about us and where can they download the handbook?
Yeah, great. If you guys go to cricketmatters.com, you can download the book there. And it's just sharing our system of training, because it's about systems and practice to support your skills that you're practicing at cricket. So if this can help you understand about where to add mobility, where to add strength training, how to apply your cardio training to support your skills you're developing at nets and your practice, then that's the best place to start. And I highly recommend downloading it and reading it and letting us know how you get on. And also just visiting out the cricketmatters.com website and checking it out and seeing if it's anything useful for you to help you in the gym getting ready for cricket season 2.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for listening. This was just a quick intro. We're going to be coming up with episode 2, which is going to be all about pre-season advice and how to train for that. In the meantime, if you do like the podcast, please make sure you subscribe and review so we can spread the word far and wide all about the Cricket Matters podcast. James, thank you very much. I'll see you in a second for the pre-season episode.
Thanks, Josh. See you guys. See you next time.
Thank you guys for listening. Until next time.